Hello, another of my reviews of Tai Lopez's 67 Steps. We're up to step number 41. This one is Sam Chupp and Making, Watching, and Wondering. Moving beyond the 3 types into just the 2 types. I don't think you spend much time thinking about that title. First of all, don't reference somebody nobody knows. Anyway. So this one starts out about Tai and his time with the Amish. This kind of near apocryphal time that Tai, for some reason, whatever, went off and lived with the Amish. Didn't become Amish, as he is keen to point out, but he lived with them. The Amish, in case you don't know, these Anabaptist people who live in Pennsylvania area and some other parts of the eastern United States, originally came from Germany, I believe, famous for the movie Witness with Harrison Ford. And the thing about the Amish is that, everyone sees them, they're in horse and buggy, and, think that they're a throwback thing. But the truth is that they are divergent. At one point, the Amish were just normal people, and I believe. And that, we went like this, and the Amish decided to stay here with their technology and all the rest. So, but what that has to do with this lesson, I'm not totally sure. He talks about this guy Sam Chupp that he knew as on the Amish lifestyle, and Sam Chupp came up with this thing that I think is quite clever in some ways. There's 3 types of people: those who make things happen, those who watch what happens, and those who wondered what happened. Now, the thing that I find most interesting is the tense of happen, happens, happened. But anyway, Tai doesn't talk about that. And again, so there's that 3 types of people. A lot of this is about the worth a damn factor that I think even goes back maybe to step number 1. About our attitudes toward life. And I think Tai's point is that sadly the default state in modern time seems to be sitting around wondering what happened. How did this happen to me? How did I get here? I have no clue. I'm clueless. Because you need to question and learn. And, you want to be somebody who makes things happen. You want to contribute. You want to be involved in your own life and in the lives of people around you. Maybe, and then you can fall back to, you can't do that all the time, of course. So you can watch what happens if you're watching and learning. The thing is to not be that third, and that's the subtitle of this. Go from the 3 types to the 2 types. You do not want to be somebody who's wondering what happened. You want to at least be making or watching. Don't be clueless. Did I say that? Many times, probably. But, the world moves fast. The rate of change is immense. You can't memorize everything. I mean, if you're a doctor, the rate of change in medicine is incredible. So you want to have this just be the spirit of being inquisitive, the spirit of learning. Don't stick on to things that you knew because you knew them. Keep on moving. Curiosity is probably one of the key traits of people who've changed the world throughout history. Try to do different things. Try technology. Try to learn what happens inside of your iPhones, or try pushing the buttons. First thing is to learn how to make a backup of your phone, and then you can push any button you want. Once you've done that, you can't really break them. Learn about your car. These are all things that Tai's talking about. Just have an inquisitive time. Don't just pass the time. Live the time. Asking why 3 times, that whole thing about, asking why 3 times will get you to the heart of something. But Tai really goes off on it on this one. I mean, he talks a lot about, you really need to have these basics understanding. Do you understand the basics of business? Do you understand the basics of accounting for your business? Do you understand how the stock market works? Do you understand the difference between a bond and a stock, common stock? Or what about science and physics? I mean, we all live in this world that's heavily influenced by modern science. Obviously, we're at the whim of physics. Biology, and biology impacts our health. Do you know what happens with fat in your body or in your brain, for instance, or sugar or salt? And the social. So these are the pillars. I'm just going through the pillars here. The social thing, the love thing. Why do we love who we love? What do we need? What are we looking for? What about history and art and music? So it's not about memorizing Trivial Pursuit questions. I have a great Trivial Pursuit story about winning Trivial Pursuit with a Kermit the Frog answer, which, anyway. But it's about the type of brain that you have, this inquisitive brain, and how that impresses you upon other people. Because you want to surround yourself with inquisitive people. And inquisitive people like other inquisitive people, Interesting people like interesting people. And that's how you build up connection, and connection is really everything, socially and professionally. Have you ever had an amazing idea that you saw somebody else do, and they developed it from scratch, and you could have developed it from scratch? Why was that? And it was probably because they were better connected. Maybe because they were smarter, but probably not. The whole thing about Lindbergh flying over the Atlantic. Lindbergh, nobody thought he would do it. He was kind of a joke. There was other people who were spending tons and tons of money, so it was something different about Lindbergh and his inquisitiveness. So don't believe your own excuses, Don't believe these own rules that you've made up about why things can't happen, why you can't do things, why you can't change. Acknowledge the priorities in your life. Probably a lot of what you've made into excuses and rules are really about priorities, and if you really want to change priorities, you can. Also, finally, the upside of this is that if you know more, you don't get scammed. If you know more about the stock market, you'll be a better investor. If you know more about how investments work, you won't get scammed by the bank or by Nigerian email scams, or by diet books. Man, diet books that just tell you a load of rubbish that's not backed up by anything. So, there we go. That was a bit of a rambling one. Sorry about that. That's step 41. And his 3 questions were, what's something you know nothing about? You know it exists, I guess, but you don't know anything about it. What's something you know nothing about? What's something you've been good at and you do know something about, and how can you do more of that? That's the other side, right? That's the inversion. Do more of the thing you're good at, you know about. And what's something you're going to focus on now? All right. That's step 41. Onwards and upwards. Subscribe, please, and join me on this journey. Leave some comments, and we'll see you soon, like in a day or so. Bye.